you were forced to reinvent yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I know in some other situations in your life you were too, but there's been times where you've just taken something and made it something. For instance, what inspired you to write your life story? I know that you've written your life story, um, some of it, not all of it, but some of it here
Mm-hmm.
in Where Hope and Mercy Meet. This is Sandra's book. Her pen name is Maggie Hart on this book, and it's available on Amazon, Where Hope and Mercy Meet. So tell me a little bit about this book here, Sandra.
Well, first of all, the book is about my life story. It's a memoir, but it starts in my childhood. And to sum that up, I had a very difficult childhood. I lived with an alcoholic mother who emotionally and physically uh, abused me of my entire childhood. And she wound up dying in a mental institution because of her alcoholism. And I had a father who sexually abused me from age 6 until 15, until I was taken away from the home and made a ward of the court and put in a foster home. So about 2008, my oldest daughter asked me if I had ever thought about writing my life story just out of the clear blue. And I said, I've kind of thought about it. I've laughed to myself and said, oh, my life story, my childhood would make a great movie, and I told her that. And she said, well, I think you should, Mom, because you've never told us kids, us girls, anything about what really happened in your childhood. You've never talked about it. So that was what started it. So in 2010, I began writing. I didn't have a manuscript. I didn't have an outline. I just sat down and started at the beginning and started writing. And it wasn't until about 3/4 of the way through that I realized that my daughter was the catalyst to help me to help women, in the fact that she asked me to write, even think about, consider writing my story. And all of a sudden this beautiful light came on inside of me, and I realized that my story could transform and help make a difference in other women's lives and inspire them, women who still suffer from the shame of sexual abuse, or living with an alcoholic parent, who maybe have not had therapy and gone through the steps that I have. So it takes you from that same kind of childhood through the change, and helping women to see that it isn't until they walk through their shame that they can get to the other side. It's like, here we are, and here's that good life, but you have to walk through that shame to get to it. And when you do that, your whole life changes, and you're no longer a victim. You're a healthy, responsible person. And a lot of people who have even had a successful life still hold that inside, and it's something that keeps them a prisoner. So it's just so wonderful when a woman can get to the other side of that. And anyway, that's what I discovered writing the book. And when I realized that, it was even more important to me, because I feel that my voice that I tried to share in the book is inspiring, because I have gone through this, and I have the knowledge of what a sexually abused child or woman feels, and I have something to bring to the table with helping their growth. So that's why I wrote the book.
Well, you completely understand where they're coming from. You can
Yes.
relate, and that leads me to my next question. Is I understand that you help women mostly, and you're a life coach.
I am. I am.
Yeah. And so, what inspired you to become a life coach?
That exactly what I just said. And after the years of writing the life stories of senior citizens and sitting down at the kitchen table, the dining table with mom and pop. And these are all seniors, individuals, men who were all in all different aspects of World War II. And none of them, not any of those men and two war brides, had never shared their story because they were taught back then to go home and live their lives and not ever talk about it. And that's before we knew what PTSD was and how it worked. So when
And you
these
know what
people,
else, Sandra? Sorry to interrupt. You know what else was strong back then is you weren't supposed to complain about anything.
exactly,
You
yes,
you know, you were thought of as a whiner and a yellow belly and all
yes.
these,
Men were taught to be a stoic, and even women
yeah,
in cases, through the
yeah.
Depression and through the war, and they just went on along their lives and stuffed everything down. But what happened was these people, these beautiful, did me, and which in the end, their children were the ones that hired me to write their stories and to tape record it on the sessions I had with them. But in the end, it gave the children the story, but it was like therapy for the senior, and it completed them. But back to the coaching, when I would, towards the end of that, I was realizing, I think this is a catalyst for my next work. And I saw how much these people trusted me with their life and to put it into the written word. So just one thing led to another. I kept listening to these little voices, and I thought, I really believe that I wrote the book as a foundation, but to inspire women and to give them hope. But I know now that I can coach women out of this problem and that they have in this victimization that they have and these horrible experiences and their trauma. So in 2017, I became a life coach, and I've worked with um, all kinds of different issues. But one thing that I really enjoy doing is helping people find their passion, their life purpose, their work. But I mostly work with clients who have suffered trauma, childhood sexual abuse, date rape, domestic violence. So all of that I've been able to help people.
Is that, is that what a life coach does? Is help you find your passion, your work,
That's
you
part of
know?
it. It's part of healing, and it's part of finding the passion. Um, most people that are in a situation, or they have trauma, they have issues they're trying to figure out, or they're a direction they're trying to get to. It's like being up against a wall, your face, and you can't turn your head either way. You have to step back to look at the issues. And it's not my job as a coach to give you the answers. It's my job to help you see a different perspective and help you figure out where it is you want to go, if it's the direction you're trying to get to help you to get in touch with it. And that's what I do.
You know what it just made me think of when you were describing it? You know when you go to the map in the mall and it says
Hmm.
you are here?
Yes,
And there's all these possibilities of where you could go, and some of them, you're just seeing this one area of the mall. And there's
yes,
all this
yes,
other, part of the mall that you've missed
yes.
possibilities.
Well,
Um,
I'm really, I want to say too that in coaching, I'm extremely engaged in a client's growth and transformation and helping give them value, and I'm just a
yeah.
champion for women in, all together, empowering them and watching them through their growth.
Well,
That's what
low self-value is
mm,
an epidemic
it is
right
an
now.
epidemic.
It really is. And for women and men both across the line. And I know I personally have, you've helped me. at times when I just can't see, the path. We're great at helping others, but to see our own path, our own map,
Yes.
is hard sometimes.
Yes.
And sometimes we need that objective person
Yes.
that says, wait a minute, you're only, you keep looking over there. And it's so helpful. It's also so comforting,
Yes.
really comforting.
Yes.
And that's the experience I've had with you,
Oh,
with
thank you.
your coaching. You've turned on some lights. I've had some aha
Mhm.
moments, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, we're
I guess
trained
it
as
wasn't so bad after
we're
all.
trained we're trained as children to work hard and to get an education, and somewhere along that journey, we stop listening to the voice inside. And we don't even realize as we become adults that there's little nudges and there's little voices telling us, and that's our soul talking to us. And when I can help a person get in touch with that and help them to get to that place, that work, that job, or that dream that they have, it for them, when they do that, it's like coming home to themselves for the first time in their life. They're connecting with their soul. To me, that's profound. It's so important to help people do that.
Wow. You are a beautiful soul,
Thank
Sandra.
you.
That is all I have to say. I knew when I met you, I wanted to know more.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad that, you know, whoever, spirit, Allah,
Mhm.
God,
The
led
nudge.
me, the
The
nudge,
nudge.
yeah, the nudge led me to you or you to me, you know. Um, I just want to remind everybody about Sandra's book, Where Hope and Mercy Meet, a true story of child survival. I like here it says, make something out of nothing, build everything that matters,
Mhm.
that matters. I also um, too want to just tie it up by saying that no matter if you were fed seeds or you were fed coal, you took it and you made something of it. You said, you know what? This is all I got. Well, what can I do with coal?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
that's what I like about